All right, so I've been seeing this truck sit up the road from my house for about 2.5 years, and I keep meaning to stop and ask about it. Well, I went by there like 3 or 4 times and couldn't get anybody to answer the door. Nobody was home, whatever. Either way, so yesterday I finally went by there and knocked on the door again, and somebody answered. So I asked him about it, and he said, "No, this truck's just been sitting there. I got a car and just stopped driving it." So I asked him if he'd be willing to sell it, and he said he would. So I asked him how much he had to have for it, and he said 1,000. Nothing wrong with it. 150,000 miles, 2-wheel drive, 6-cylinder, stick shift, vinyl floor. So I went back today. He told me to come back today if I wanted to pick it up, and went, struck a deal for $800. Here we go. Yeah. Oh yeah. 04 Ranger, baby. So $800 really just needs a little bit of a cleanup and a tune up, maybe some fresh gas, and hopefully be able to sell it and make a couple. There's the initial power wash, just to get the majority of the gunk off, the mold. Now, I know I shouldn't do this. I should probably go ahead and drain the fuel, put some fresh stuff in there, instead of this 2-year-old junk. But I don't care. I just want to see if it starts. This guy swears up and down when he parked it a couple years ago, it ran. So let's see what we got here. All right. Ooh. 146,000 miles. Not that you can read that, but even a little less than I thought. See what happens. All right, take 2 with some ether. Ooh. Alright, so I think we got a fuel pump issue here. Not getting any fuel. This here Ranger will fire on starting fluid. That's it. I don't hear the fuel pump kicking on. Check your fuel pump reset, just in case, but this wasn't an accident, so I highly doubt it was it. But I did check, it's behind the glove box. It wasn't tripped. So I'm going to take the bed off and check the fuel pump. I've already checked the relay and the fuse. They're good. I got power going from the fuse box down. So it's a T55 Torx for your bed bolts here. There's 6 of them, 2 on each side in the back, and then 2 in the front. This was rhino lined. I don't know if you can see it there. So I had to take a razor blade and cut around it and then take it out. Then there's your little light connection right back here in the back above the bumper. Just unplug that. And then get your trusty neighbor to come over and help you lift it off there, just to get it out of the way. So let's see what happens. All right, so took fuel pump out. We tested it, put power to it, checked power going to it, had power, put power to it with our trusty power probe here, and got nothing. So on top of the fuel pump not working, the sock on the bottom was broken off. So at about a quarter tank, we'd have ran out of fuel anyways. So we went and picked us up a new one. It was the old parts store. It was like 220 bucks. I just looked on Amazon and they're 99 for the exact same brand. So that's 3-year-old gas in there. I'm using my little vacuum sucker to suck that out and put the new pump on and put some fresh gas in there and let it run for a little bit, get it fired up, and then I'm gonna put a new fuel filter on there. I'm gonna let all that old shit cycle through that old filter, so when we put the new one on there, it's not clogged automatically. So let's get to sucking. Alright, so here's our new pump made by Delphi. There's an arrow right there and an alignment mark. Hold on. Right there. So you want that arrow to line up with that alignment mark. Alright, put your retaining ring on there and you can kind of push down and turn it with your hands to get it started. And I'm going to have to use a screwdriver and a rubber mallet because I don't have the correct tool to do it. It's not the right way, but it'll work. Alright, sorry I couldn't film and hammer at the same time, but you see we've got it turned all the way till it locks. Just hook up your hoses back there. We'll put some fresh gas in there and see what happens. Alright, got our new pump in, put the new O-ring on there, then hooked up, we put a couple gallons of gas in there. Let's see if she fires. Oh. This will be the first start in 3 years. Cycle the fuel a couple times here. Get some pressure build up. Holy moly, boys and girls. She's alive. Alright. So let her sit here and warm up for a minute. Not real sure why that gas gauge is saying half a tank. Let's see if it comes down. Or if maybe I got the float stuck in there and didn't realize it. Things to check before you put the bed back on. Alright, so far so good. There's a look at the old pickup sock that came off the old pump. That was just laying in the bottom of the tank, so definitely a good idea to get that out of there and put a new sock on there, so that's not good to suck up. Alright guys, so I've got the Ranger all cleaned up here and we've got it posted on Craigslist, and I looked up the loan value to one of our local banks here. They go off NADA average trade-in, which is around $5,200 for this truck with the mileage and everything. So I went ahead and listed it for $52 because everybody wants to talk you down. So I took some pictures here, cleaned up the engine bay, got her looking decent. Inside cleaned up real nice. That's not a good picture because there's dust flying around everywhere. Bad picture to post. But we got I listed also on Facebook Marketplace the other night. I did this about a week ago here on Craigslist, but the Facebook Marketplace, actually somebody messaged me on there last night when I was at work, and supposedly they're coming today. Take a look at it. So he sounds pretty serious, but we'll see. You never know until they're driving down the road and you got a pocket full of cash. So we'll see what happens. Alright guys, so here is the Ranger Danger all cleaned up. Beautiful Saturday morning here. Supposedly got somebody coming to look at it here in a few minutes. So we'll see. Well, here's what the inside came out to. Actually cleaned up pretty good. So Let's check it out. Put a little shine on there. One spot I didn't get was where the guy's head rubbed on the ceiling. He was a big old tall dude. That's kind of gross. I tried using a steam cleaner on it a little bit, and it worked a little bit. It was a little bit darker, but I didn't want to take all the glue off and have the headliner fall down. Thought that'd be worse than a stain. So here's the engine compartment. Cleaned it up. So we got a brand new battery. I drained and filled the brake fluid, topped off the washer fluid, drained and filled the coolant. Obviously, I went ahead. The AC actually worked great, but I had a can, so I went ahead and put a little bit of a charge in there. It's been sitting for a few years, so I'm sure it could have used a little bump. And now the AC blows icy cold. Something else I do on every vehicle I sell is I put a new set of wiper blades on it, because I hate buying a vehicle and as soon as you buy it, the first time it rains, you need wiper blades. It's kind of, I don't know, it's just a pet peeve. And also I change the oil in the fuel filter. And as I said before, we actually had to do the fuel pump assembly. But yeah, it's a good, I mean, simple stuff to, you know, it's a good selling point, excuse me. So, I did polish the headlights up with a buffer. I'm not a professional at that, but it's way better than they were. And apparently my cat is quite fond of the truck, and she doesn't want it to go. She likes to crawl on it. So we'll shut that so she can't fur it up. Hello, cat. Meow. Say hi. Hi. Alright, so deal's done. Don't mind my big zit right there.
Baby, stop it.
But a guy came and looked at the truck with his son. His buying it for his 17-year-old son. They're both pretty nice. We agreed on a price. He offered me, you know, I had it listed for $55. I'd actually lowered the price on Facebook Marketplace to $5 after a week of it being on there, and I didn't get any hits. And then he offered me $47.50, which was an odd number. But I said, man, just make it 48 even, and we'll call it a deal. So he was more than happy with that. He did write me a check, which normally I would not take a check, but they're leaving the truck and the title here until I can go to his bank on Monday, because it is Saturday, and cash a check. So paid $800 for the truck. I've got $100 in fuel pump, and you know, roughly less than $100 and probably about $80-100 in wipers, oil filter, fuel filter, coolant, stuff like that. So I'm gonna say I got an even $1,000 in it. So that's a $3,800 profit in like 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. So if I could do that once a month, that'd be awesome. So I would rather make money on the buy than make money on selling it and rip somebody off. Like I said, book value on the truck, loan value on the truck was $5,200. So he actually got it for $400 less than loan value was. So technically, he could probably go ahead and resell it and make some money. You know, retail money on it was about $7,000 if you were to set it on a car lot somewhere, and they'd probably get it because they can finance people. But it's just a good example. If you can get a good buy on something, then you know that's where you can make a lot of your money. I'd rather make it on the front end than on the back end, and make sure your buyer's happy as well. You know, and try to keep a straight face when you're making that much money, because it's hard to keep a straight face. You know what I'm saying? But all right, well, hopefully y'all learned something, and maybe you can go out and try it yourselves. So, love, peace, and ching grease.